Welcome to the Complete Boomi Bootcamp 2026, Episode 12, Outbound EDI and Mapping. In this video, we have the following agenda: EDIFACT trading partners in processing groups, outbound EDI routing, get Odoo XML purchase orders from Azure Service Bus, mapping, Odoo XML to EDIFACT orders, mapping, EDIFACT orders to database, and next steps. EDIFACT trading partners in processing groups. Welcome back to Boomi. For this demonstration, we will create some new trading partners. This time, EDIFACT trading partners. First one will be some random trading partner. Let's take Audi, for example. Audi trading partner. Then we have a look at the EDIFACT standard. Here we will put in our ID. For this demonstration, Audi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have a look at the interchange version and control options. Let's see, syntax, identifier, functional group identification options. I think we won't use these options. Message version, I would like to use the 05B for this demonstration. Controlling agency, I think we can leave this as it is. It's quite a lot of options we have. So, this looks okay this way. The draft version is also okay. Basic EDIFACT options. We can go with this default settings. Interchange, we set it to the level C and version 3. Rest looks okay. Then we can set up the communication. ACE2 this time for this demonstration. And communication settings, we will select the specific one. Let's quickly check. Configure specific settings. Then we fill in the ACE2 ID. For example, Audi underline ACE2. And the rest, we will leave it as it is. We won't use any security options or certificates here for this demonstration. Save it. Then my goal for today is to have 3 different EDIFACT trading partners. So I will take this Audi trading partner and I think I will copy it. But before that, to make clear that it's EDIFACT trading partner, I would add EDIFACT here in the name. Audi EDIFACT trading partner. So like this. And then I can copy this trading partner, give it a name, for example, Lexus. Then destination folder would be my shared folder, shared components folder, like this. Oh, I see, I forgot to give it a proper name, so I will just modify the name of the Lexus trading partner. It's Lexus EDIFACT trading partner. Then I think I missed to fill in the identifier in the overview section for Audi. So I will do it here. Lexus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is for Lexus. And quickly check the EDIFACT standard section. So modify the ID here. I will copy the string Lexus, put it here. Then the rest should be the same. And of course I have to modify the ACE2 ID for Lexus. So it would be Lexus _ ACE2. Close, save. Then I will quickly head over to Audi, the overview section, and fill in the identifier I missed before. Like this, I can save it. Then I can create the third EDIFACT trading partner by copying the Audi EDIFACT trading partner. So this time I just copy and paste the name and give it a name here. I think I will go for Tesla. Tesla EDIFACT trading partner. So click OK. Then I modify the identifier here. Tesla 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head over to the EDIFACT standard section, modify this ID here also, and at last I will modify the ACE2 ID. This Tesla _ ACE2. So now it's okay. The next step is we need another trading partner of the type my company. So we head over to my company settings. My company settings. Okay. And here we see we have a trading partner here, but that is a X12 standard. Yeah. So just to make clear, this X12 trading partner, I added this to the partner name, and now I can create a new trading partner under the section my companies. Oh, it's trading partner. EDIFACT this time. This is my company. Create. Identifier would be DataKun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So quickly give it a name. DataKun EDIFACT trading partner. Here, fill in the ID. Then modify this one. Okay. It's everything. It's fine like this. And for the message version, it's the 05B release 2005. That's also okay. Quickly check. Yes, that's also okay. Yeah, save. And then we can head over to the communication setting or section. Oh, here we set up another ACE2 based communication method. ACE2 ID is DataKun _ ACE2. So we're all good now. Outbound EDI routing. For the EDI outbound routing, we will also use the processing groups. So let's have a look at our processing group. I think I will clean up a little bit and move the processing group to our shared components folder. Like this, yeah, move and save. And then we also have this process here. And I think I will rename it so that it is a little more obvious that it is about inbound EDI. So this one we will rename a little bit like EDI inbound via processing groups. Save it. Then we deploy it quickly. Take this name here. So, yes. Then we will create another process for the reverse direction. So that means for the outbound, EDI outbound. Okay, new component, process, that's okay, yeah, great. We set up no data for now. Okay, then we have the outbound, EDI outbound via processing groups. Save. We will now set up this process beginning with a message just to have some sample data. We will have a so-called Odoo. Odoo is an open source ERP system. Odoo purchase order. It's just a sample. Let's just put the sample for Lexus. Lexus Odoo purchase order here. I prepared an XML file for this, just filled in the message. Next is the trading partner. We will use a processing group for the outbound EDI. Here I will use a stop step just for demonstration. Now I will configure the trading partner step by adding a standard for my company. Here EDIFACT and our Datacon EDIFACT trading partner. And as a trading partner I use a processing group, the one that we already have. Let's have a quick look at this. It's now still with the X12 trading partners. We will remove all these X12 trading partners for this demonstration. So, and now add the EDIFACT trading partners. Once we've done this, we will of course have to deploy the modified processing group. Now Lexus. Then we are, yeah, that looks okay now. Let's save it. Now we can save our process here. Let's deploy our processing group. Also deploy our process, EDI outbound. Now let's test this process. And there's an error. Can't pass argument. Yeah, that's a classic one. I think we have to put the sample message in a variable. So just put that in this variable one static value. So we have that message, whole message in a variable. Now test it again. Now another error. More than one trading partner defined. The receiving partner must be set as document property. Okay. So that means that we somehow have to set the receiving partner. So let's have a look. We have somewhere we have the selling partner, the supplier ID. We can take the party name, Lexus, in the seller supplier party section. But we have to look it up and pass over the trading partner component ID. You can get it from the revision history. There's a component ID, this string. That's the unique identifier of the trading partner. We can copy the string now. And we need a lookup table for this. Yeah. So in Boomi it is called, I think, cross-reference table, but it's a lookup table. So I will create a CSV file for that with two fields. Supplier ID is the first field, and then we will translate this supplier ID into the related trading partner component ID. Yeah, like this. And here we create a mapping or map step. Then we pass over to the trading partner. Let's auto arrange, save it. Now we can configure the map step. So create a new map. Give it a name. So, for example, supplier ID to trading partner component ID. It's we want to pass the receiving partner. So input or source format is the purchase order XML. So XML, and we need to create a new profile for this. So let's call it Odoo purchase order. Now we can import the profile. This is the file. Click next and finish. So we have the structure now. Can save that one. And click OK here. And destination format is the same. We just set up the XML profile type to like this, and the Odoo purchase XML profile. Then we can use Boomi suggest to auto map all the fields, because it's one-to-one mapping here. Here now we need to take the name from the best seller party name, and here we have the field name. There's the information we need to extract. Here in the middle we can, now we have to somehow fetch the string, or set up the lookup. I think we go for the lookup. So let's try lookup. It's cross-reference lookup in this case. And then we have the cross-reference table. We have to create one. So let's give it a name. It's like supplier ID to trading partner component ID. Just TP, just write trading partner, so it's clear that it's a trading partner component ID. Trading partner. We can save it, but of course we can import the fields, the structure. We need 2 columns as we have 2 fields. And yes, specify the first row of the uploaded file as the header. Correct. And override existing headers. That's also good. So we have imported our file here and click on override the existing headers. Click next. Then this file is imported like this. Now we can save this cross-reference table. And go back here, look up reference, choose the reference that will be the input to your cross-reference. Okay, that will be the supplier ID, and based on that we want to have the trading partner component ID. So right side, choose the reference that will be the values or outputs of your cross-reference table. It's that one. It's okay. We don't use any default values, so that's also okay. Now we have to pass over the trading partner component ID to the document property that would be the receiving partner. EDIFACT property group is interchange. The receiving partner is part of the interchange group. Receiving partner. Okay. No default value also here. And then we now connect the trading partner component ID to the input of the, somehow I cannot connect. Okay, this doesn't work this way, obviously, so we have to find out another way. Custom scripting, no. No, this looks not good. What else do we have? Maybe create new function? Let's try this. Okay, there's input, there's output, there are some steps in the middle, looks good. Supplier ID, it's a map function we create now to trading partner component ID. Okay, let's save that. Function must have at least one input. Okay, let's do it. That would be the supplier underline also supplier ID, like this, and that would be the trading partner component ID. Okay, now I'm curious what happens next. Let's add a step. Yeah, lookup. Looks good. Yeah, we take that one. Cross-reference lookup. Then I'm sure we can select the cross-reference table we just created before. No, there it is. Then here we have the supplier ID as input, and output would be the trading partner component ID. No defaults. Okay. So we can connect it like this, and then we need to set the document property. Like trading partner information, EDIFACT, interchange, and then the receiving partner. Okay. No defaults. And here we can connect this one. Yes. Okay. So then there's no output. So I think we can remove the output like this. Save. Save this one and return back to our map. I think we just have to click OK. With that, yeah, like this. Huh? No, why do I don't see the new function? I think I will just click OK and hope that the new function is showing up. Yeah, there it is. And so now I can connect the name, the supplier party name, to my input here, and then it should be okay. Let's try. So wait a minute, party name. I think this is the wrong field I just mapped. Yeah, no, that can't work. I have to map the name like this. I'll save it. Then I will quickly check my mapping. I think I will remove this connection for now, because I just want to check the mapping, if the mapping is okay. No test. Then my expectation is that Lexus is extracted from the purchase order and then translated to our trading partner component ID. So check the logs. cross-reference lookup looks good. We have the trading partner component ID, and somewhere I think Lexus as supplier name is extracted. There, Lexus. So the mapping seems to be okay. So let's reconnect the trading partner and test the process. This time with the trading partner. We have an error. Error received during ACE2 send. Error sending message to ACE2 server. I think there is no information about our destination. Maybe I forgot this to set up. Let's quickly check the ACE2 settings. Yes, indeed. ACE2 send settings. We don't have an URL here. My apologies. So we just fill in the URL for the ACE2 destination. We do it for all our EDIFACT trading partners, of course. And then after that we have to redeploy our processing group because we changed or we added some information to our trading partners. So let's deploy that one. So for Lexus, we test this for Lexus. Yes, now it's okay. Then I think just to be sure, I will quickly insert the sample purchase orders for Audi and Tesla also. Let's make a copy and then just insert the related purchase order. So just I will put in the Tesla order. It will contain the Tesla as supplier name, of course. Then the same for Audi. It's okay. Yeah. Let's quickly check. Connect this with the Audi purchase order. Just no, for Tesla. And that's also okay. Yeah. Great, then we can go on with the next steps. Get Odoo XML purchase orders from Azure Service Bus. Now we will set up a process that will fetch some files from Azure Service Bus So first of all, we will create a new folder for this demonstration. Demo Azure Service Bus. Then here we will create a process. Type data pass-through. That's because we want to call this process later. Let's demo get files from Azure Service Bus. Quickly save this process. Then I will create a Azure Service Bus step here and connect it with a return documents step. Auto range, save, and then I will configure this step. We need a Azure Service Bus connection, and the required information are Azure namespace name. This is all information you get from the Azure portal. You've created Azure Service Bus there, and the namespace here is, for example, DataCoon. Domain name is pre-selected, servicebus.windows.net. The SaaS key name is root manager shared access key, and we have the SaaS key that is also provided by the Azure portal. OS 2.0 is not configured. We save it, and then we can test the connection. It's pretty straightforward, should be okay. Yeah, test connection successful. Then next comes the operation. Action is receive. Now we create the operation. That's demo receive. Now we can import the operation. Entity type is subscriptions in this demonstration. Click OK. Then there's the DataCoon topic and subscription, DataCoon subscription, as I prepared it. Can take this settings. We want to delete messages after fetching. So now we can test our process here. Seems to be okay. And now let's have a look at the message we just fetched, and that's the XML file. So see, I put in 3 messages and 1 is fetch. Yeah, so out of the box, this connector seems to fetch 1 message at a time. Strange. We can test again just to confirm this behavior. But I think for our demonstration it's fine. So just another XML file, and this time Audi, the Audi purchase order. Then let's run the third test. Oh, before that we just check the Azure Service Bus. So refresh the subscription, and yeah, we have one left. So every time it fetches only one message. Test it. So that's the last one. Let's quickly check. Refresh the subscription. Yes, the third message was fetched. Yeah. We connect to our return document step. Now we can save that. Then I will upload the 3 messages again, just for further testing. Now, yeah, you see there 3 messages again. Now we run our test here from our main process that calls the process demo get files from Azure Service Bus using a process call, and it works. Yeah, that was a demonstration how you can get files from the Azure Service Bus in a company environment. However, that is not typical. You have to have a solution that would listen to the Azure Service Bus, and once a file is sent to the Azure Service Bus, the solution has to fetch the files. Yeah. So to demonstrate this, I will create another process. And have the type connector in the start step. Now I select the Microsoft Azure Service Bus and create or use the existing connection. In action, you see a new action that is called listen. Yeah. And this action only appears if you use the Microsoft Azure Service Bus connector at the beginning in the start step. So we connect, we create the listen operation. Import. Then we select our runtime. And entity type is subscriptions. Can select next. Then here you have the object type, it's pre-selected. Click next. I show you the current status. There are some messages I prepared for this demonstration. Give me a sec. Here is our Service Bus Explorer. It's an external program. You can have a look. There are some messages. We just have a look. There's actually 4 messages I prepared for purchase orders. And then my goal is to fetch all these 4 documents within using this new process. Receive mode is receive and delete. Maximum number of concurrent executions. Carefully set a maximum limit on the number of concurrent process executions submitted by the operation. When this number is reached, the operation does not receive any new message until at least one active execution completes. Where the order is important, set this to 1. I think we just leave it the default value of 1. Singleton listener, if selected only once instance of a singleton. I think we leave this box unchecked. Now we can save this process. Okay, we have a connection and operation. So now we can give this process a name. Demo Azure Service Bus. That's the listen. Demo listen to, or listen Azure Service Bus. And then I think I would like to use this process to feed the other process, the EDI outbound process. So I will detach it from the demo get files process, make it data pass-through here as type, so I can call it. Then I can connect like this, auto range. And of course I have to deploy this process. This. Then I use a process call step to call the EDI outbound process. Okay. And I think that's it. So every time there's another or new message in a Azure Service Bus, the message is fetched by this process and then passed to the sub-process EDI outbound. That's the plan. So, and I think if we look into the deployed processes, here you see demo listen Azure Service Bus is deployed. EDI outbound via processing groups is also deployed. We have a listener, I think, a new listener, yeah, demo listen Azure Service Bus. My expectation is that by now the 4 files are already fetched. As you can see, this is correct. It was fetched and also sent to the suppliers. Yeah. And we can check it here in the Service Bus Explorer. If we refresh the subscription, all messages are fetched. Just refresh it here. Yeah, you see all messages are fetched. You can check it also here. There. You see the messages in the trading partner session, and it's Lexus, Audi, Tesla. Mapping Odoo XML purchase orders to EDIFACT orders. Welcome back to Boomi. Now we will set up a new process to demonstrate the mapping capabilities of Boomi. So I have a folder here, demo mapping. Then I create a new process. Type data pass-through because I want to use this process later for the mapping. So I can call this process feed it with some files, and then this process will map the Odoo purchase order XML to the EDIFACT orders. So I call this process Odoo purchase order XML to EDIFACT orders D05B. So create a map step. Give it a name, Odoo XML to EDIFACT orders. Then I will import the XML profile. So now we have the Odoo purchase order XML profile, and for the destination we will create a EDIFACT orders profile. EDIFACT orders D05B EDI profile. The version is D05B, and the transmission would be orders. Click next, then we clicked all header segments, all detail, and all summary segments. Click on save. It's okay. And on the right side you see all the segments. The next step is we have to plan our mapping, and so here we have the overview over all mandatory purchase order information. We have to write down on the one hand the fields in the Odoo XML, and then the fields how they occur in the EDIFACT orders. I will explain in a sec. So let's begin with the Odoo XML information. I think it's about 15 fields, but here you see the purchase order XML, and now we try to figure out where these information are occurring. So for example, when we start with the purchase order number, it's in the field ID right under the order node, so we note it down. Then next is the purchase order date, that would be issue date, for example. The buyer ID would be under buyer customer party name and name. And by the way, the mapping is, maybe it's not 100% correct, but this is just for demonstration how you would approach this mapping, how you plan this mapping. As I said, it's not necessarily 100% correct, just to give you an impression what to do as a EDIFACT mapper or mapping developer. So we have the supplier ID that is under buyer customer party no, seller supplier party, party name and name. Something like this. Just write it down. And so we just go through every field, and you will see sometimes, or maybe you don't find the field in the message. So we just try our best here. Total amount could be in the summary section. We can, just for demonstration, we can use this payable amount field here. So let's take this one. Delivery terms. I think there was no delivery terms here. At least I cannot see that information that quickly. That is some delivery information. Shipping address. Maybe we just take the city name. What's next is the description. Here under order line, line item, and then description. Like this. Then next is the item code. No, that is the classified text category. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think if that's the correct one. Quantity is under the order line, line item. That's the quantity here. I think we can take this. Then we have the unit of measure. Unit of measure. I think I didn't see there is a unit code, but not the unit of measure. But maybe we can just take the unit code and translate it later. C62, I think C62 stands for piece, one piece. Okay, then we have the unit price. I think we can go with the price amount. Price amount. Unit code. Quantity is clear. Extension amount, currency ID is USD. No. We need the price per unit. It's anyways, it's just for demonstration. I think we just take the unit code here And let's write down what we should do later. It's piece. And then maybe we can create a lookup table for this. And for the unit, price per unit. No, just let's take this price amount. Yeah, it's just for demonstration. So we have that one. And delivery date, I think there was no delivery date here in this sample message. So not available. Yeah, I think it's just not available. Let me add this information here in the line item, and of course in the order line price. Yeah, it's not 100% exact, but it's just for orientation so that you know where to find this field. And delivery date, I think there was no delivery date. It's just, at least I don't see it here. Just maybe the issue date plus 14 or 10 days. Oh no, let's skip this. It's too complicated then for demonstration. We just fill in not available, and so we don't map it. So we'll hide this, and then we need to find out the fields in the EDIFACT orders file. So quickly display the sample file. It's just a sample file, a minimal orders file, and the purchase order number can be found in the BGM segment. Next one is the purchase order date. This one is in the DTM segment. This is the first composite element and the second data element 2380, but only if the data element 2005 has the qualifier 137. It's a little bit complicated in the EDIFACT. In EDIFACT you often work with the code qualifier, and depending on the code qualifier the dates or the values have a different meaning. And the same is applicable for the NAD segment, name and address. So if you have the party function code qualifier BY, that stands for buyer, that means that the party identifier you find in composite element C082, data element 3039, that is the identifier for the buyer. And if it's the function code qualifier is SU stands for supplier, so that means that it's the supplier ID. Then we have the currency in segment CUX. I'm aware that it may be a little bit overwhelming for you, because this is specific information about EDIFACT, how the information are organized, I think I will create a video series to explain EDIFACT at a later time, because I think it's not so easy to understand the structure of EDIFACT. So yeah. Then we have the more segment. We have the monetary amount type qualifier is 79, and the amount itself is in the data element 5004. So now I will analyze every field and try to get the right field. And as I said before, it's might not be 100% accurate and correct, but what I would like to demonstrate here is that this is the method you have to follow to find the right fields for the information. And yeah, it's just for demonstration anyways. So description, the description is in the IMD segment, I think. C273, and element would be 7008. City name, I think it's missing here. Yeah, I think I will just skip this one. Line number should be in the lin segment. Data element 1082. Item code, item identifier is in the composite element C212, data element 7140. And next is the quantity. We find it typically in the QTY segment, and there we will find it in composite element C186, data element 6060. Right? Yeah. Then unit of measure. This C62 is where? It's I think it's also in the quantity segment. In data element 6411 measurement unit code. I think we can take this one. And the unit price, I assume, is later in the PRI segment. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think we skipped the lookup table and just map it, the unit code as it is, just to simplify this mapping. But again, the unit price is in the pre segment, data element 5118. But only if the price code qualifier is AAA. city name. I think I will just skip the city name. And now we have our overview over the fields we have in Odoo as well as in the EDIFACT orders. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, about 15 fields. Yeah. So next is the actual mapping. As you can see on the right side, we have a lot of segments. Some segments are not used at all, and I think, let me think, maybe I will, to simplify this mapping process, maybe I will remove some segments later, but first let's try to map all the things. So we start with the purchase order ID, and I think that is typically, that is in a BGM segment. Just wait a minute, I checked. Document identifier. As you can see, Boomi is works a little bit different. It does not contain the official EDIFACT standard naming convention, as you see. There's no composite elements, there's no data elements similar to the EDIFACT standard, but here it's just the segment name, and then they just would have a number sequence, just like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. That indicates that is elements from a composite element. And that's unique for Boomi, because now I have some difficulties to get the right fields from my mapping documentation, mapping planning. But at least I have the segment names, so I just have to pick the right fields and look up the functions. For DTM we have another challenge now, because there are different DTMs. I'll show you in a minute. DTM and code qualifier is 137. That means I would like to create this specific record, or that begins or that has this code qualifier 137, and now I'm looking for the option here in Boomi to create the specific segment for this, DTM, but the code qualifier must be 137. That is somehow possible in Boomi, but I have to figure out how this works. Use additional criteria define segment. No, there's not rule. And on the segment level, you can add instance identifier. Maybe we try this one. Identified by occurrence, identified by qualifier. Yes, please. And select qualifier. There is no qualifier to select. There is no qualifier to select. So what can we do? What can we do? See, DTM looping options unique. When writing loop segments, only unique instances are written. I think that's okay. Occurrence. Use additional criteria to define segment. This looks not right. select segment, choose data element. Maybe. Just let's try if this is the one. I mean, we can try it. Element value, validation rules. No, we don't need validation rules. No, that's not a rule. Define validation to be applied to the segment. What happens if I click on this? No, I will cancel this one. I will cancel this one. Element value. What happens if I just put in some value here? Just save it. No, seems. Once again, identify, select qualifier, no qualifier. So I think it was the wrong configuration. So I will. Oh, this is also wrong. Options. No. Segment validation rules. Data elements. How can I add an instance identifier? I want this function code qualifier 137 because otherwise maybe set default value, but that makes no sense, yeah? Because if I had more than one DTM, all DTM segments would be set with the default value for the qualifier. So I will revert this. It's not by concurrence. When I go to the element level, qualifiers, actions, that looks good. So I will uncheck this one, also revert to unique. Then I have the qualifiers on element level, allows you to add text qualifiers. That sounds good. So import from standard and 137. Yes, it's the right qualifier here. So I save this one on element level. And then maybe now I can add the instance qualifier on the segment level. Let's try. Yes, it does. There's something. Yeah, I want this one. Save it. Now you see there is a new DTM segment here, but it's specifically created when the qualifier is 137 for the document, yeah. So I think this is the wrong mapping. Where was the field? DTM 01.2. I need the target for my value. Need the target for my value. So, but it's not in the other DTM. I must map it here. Yeah, here. So let's check it. Yeah, that's date or time. That's only the qualifier, and this is where the value is stored, yeah, for the date. So I think this is correct. Can save it. Then yeah, then we have to go through all the fields just look it up. And by the way, here my videos, I won't cut these activities. That's simply because I want you to have an impression, an uncut impression, how the work of a developer or a mapping developer looks like. Yeah, that is, yeah, it's boring sometimes, but I mean, you can skip this one, fast forward if you want, but maybe there are some of you want just to watch how this actually works. So I just add qualifiers for the buyer and supplier for the NAD segment. And then I map the information to the correct NAD segment later. Here you can select the qualifiers. That's also for the supplier. Now we can save it. It would be a lot easier if the naming convention in Boomi for the EDIFACT standard would be similar to the official EDIFACT standard. So it's a little bit difficult to find the right fields or the right target fields, yeah, on the EDIFACT side. Maybe Boomi, you can improve here. I know some other tools, or actually most other tools work different. I mean, what you can do is you can rename every field. Depends on the transmission type, orders, I think. But I guess it's about 500,000 fields you have to rename to get closer to the EDIFACT standard. Yeah, now we have the document current code. And we have the buyer customer party name. And let's look it up. That is first composite element and the first data element. So that means we have the 2.1, I think 2.1. Yeah. One. So next is I think the seller supplier party. It's the same here. NAD 02.1. not with qualifier SU, like this. Yeah. So I think we are roughly half through the mapping. Where is the total amount, the payables amount? Well, I have to look it up. Payable amount, it's in the anticipated monetary total. Anticipated monetary. So that's one payable amount. Then I can map it to, in the summary, MOA segment. And by the way, this is the mapping editor of Boomi is a simple one. At the first glance. Of course, we also can do things in the middle of the mapping. It's indicated by the functions area you see in the middle. But this is something I would like to cover in one of the future videos. And for today, for this demo mapping, we just will drag and drop some lines. Yeah, have quite simple mapping activities here. So it's rather an assignment, yeah, of values from the left side, from the source, to the right side, to the destination. What I also miss here is, at least I did not find an option for to test the mapping, yeah? a built-in testing, so that for example, I click on some button here, and then the mapping result is shown to me, and also with some log file, yeah? So I can see, okay, we have like 15 fields, and how are the fields mapped? Which value has been mapped to which field? No, I don't see that option here. And yeah, of course I can do the mapping and then test the whole process, and then I think I see the result. But so simple way to test the mapping, currently I don't see it here in the mapping editor. Yeah. Okay, and here we have the description. We need the line item ID. I think that was the line number. And then, of course, we need the item number, but I guess we don't have an item number. Just an item name. No, just an item name. Maybe we can just take this item name and map it to the item identifier. It's not correct this way, but unfortunately we don't have an item ID here. Yeah. But okay, let's simulate. Let's imagine that the line name is the line ID. Yeah. So it's just for demonstration of the mapping. No line item ID. No item ID. Item identifier. Yeah, let's take the name. So just looked up the right target field. See. Yeah. It's difficult this way. I have to look up the right field for the item ID, and I think it's lin segment and the first data element. We have to check that. Where's the lin segment? In the lin loop. It's in the lin loop here. And it's item identifier. Yes, lin 03.1. Yes. Okay, that was correct. Then what else do we have here? Let me check. Some quantities set default. That's a quantity type code. I think I will hard code this. Oh, it's just 21. And then it's this element here for the quantity. Then next, the unit code C62. I have to take the attribute, the base quantity unit code here. That is mapped here, quantity 01.3. And what else? Price. The price. So once again, price amount. is the price amount here. So first the currency that we have to map. Oh no, where is it? Yeah, it's in the composite element, first data element. So set the default value AAA and then map the price here in pre-01.2. So now I can save this one and do a test. Now we have the mapping. And take this one and save and test. For now I will connect it to a stop step. Save, test. Also I prepared a test file, the Lexus purchase order, and feed it to the, or provide it to the map. And let's have a look what happens. Okay, invalid data element, mandatory element is missing. Of course. There will be a lot of mandatory fields. We just didn't fill in because that is a very easy sample file we have here. So I think I will remove this field NAD 0, 4 and 1. I think I have to remove this field in the EDIFACT profile. So yeah, for demonstration purposes, I think I will simplify the EDIFACT profile. But let's start with the NAD segment, NAD loop, and it was 4.1, I think, or 3.1. Name and address description. Yeah, it's set to mandatory. I will remove or uncheck this one and test again. Yeah, again. This time it's 4.1 invalid data element. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to just remove or unflag all mandatory fields, because otherwise we will run the errors will occur, keeps occurring. And I wonder if here's some option that you can turn off all mandatory fields at once, but yeah, I don't see that option. So, and I think I will also remove all unnecessary or not used segments. Let's just delete all these segments. So delete CNT, ALC, DGS, RCS, ALC again, APR, SCC, EQD, PAC, TOD, TDT, yeah, TDT, PYT, And I think, did I miss something? IMD, DDM, BGM, UNH. Yeah, but I can tell you I missed the UNA and UNB segments already. And here I will remove all the mandatory, the flag for the mandatory. Yeah, I have to go through all the fields, yeah, for this demonstration. And that is, by the way, also if you create a mapping for a real world project, oftentimes the purchase order you send to your suppliers, they might be a little bit more complex actually, but yeah, I think still a mandatory element. This time it's in the CUX currency segment here. And remove the DTM and PCD segment here. And just go through the fields, uncheck this one, this one. Yeah. So hopefully mapping will be, yeah, mapping is successful now. And I think we can have a look at this. Now the mapping is completed, and what we do now is that we prepare our process to be ready for the production or productive operation. It means that first we will remove the sample message. We connect to return documents step to this process and make this process available to be called by setting up the data pass-through type in the start step. So next is we head over to our main process here, EDI outbound, and we will call the process, pass over the XML files we get from the Azure Service Bus to our new process that will convert the XML file to the EDIFACT file. Like this. So as output, we now have a EDIFACT file. That means that this mapping, we can't use this mapping anymore. So I think, should I modify it? No, I think I will make a copy of this mapping and then I will slightly modify the source and destination format. Yeah, so just copy this map step and give it a name, set supplier or set trading partner component ID. This one, I will connect it to my first. This is still the same map, so I will close this one. I will first copy the map and modify it later. Yeah, so we have two different maps. So let's copy that one. And here I will note down that is for the EDIFACT profile. Our destination is this one. So now I have a copy. Then I can select this copy. Now I can modify it. Here you see there's still the XML profiles in the source and destination section. So remove this connection here, and then I will switch over to EDIFACT profile we have already here, and the same I will do in the destination section. And I will use Boomi Suggest to automap all the fields because it's the just one-to-one mapping. Click next. Yeah, finish. Then we have to, the only field that we have to reconnect is the seller name. That's in the NAD segment with the qualifier SU for supplier. Then it's this element here, NAD 02.1. I connect it with the supplier ID here. And so we can have the correct lookup for this supplier name to the trading partner component ID. I will save this. And now I think I will run a quick test. Yeah, I will run a quick test with my, first I deploy it, of course. Yeah, that needs to be deployed because we modified this process. So we'll quickly set up a test using the sample message. Just want to make sure that the lookup process is still working so that we get the trading partner component ID and it looks good. Yeah, so can just revert the changes. Oh, this looks also good. Just deployed one more time. And what's very important is that you, of course, also redeploy the demo listen Azure Service Bus process. I sent some new message, and here you see this is the most current message I sent, and my expectation is that the document will be a EDIFACT based document. We can look into this in a few seconds. So that is the file, and now we can view the document, and here you see that is our document, yeah, our EDIFACT document. So that's it. We have the listener. It fetches the files from the Azure Service Bus, then is passed over to our main process. The XML file is passed over to a sub-process that is converting the XML file to EDIFACT, and then the EDIFACT is then sent to our suppliers via AS2. And that's it. Mapping EDIFACT orders to database. Next step is to map the EDIFACT file to the database format so that the data can be transferred or stored in the database. First I think I will insert a branch step here. So just the one branch is used for sending the data to the supplier, and the other branch I use to simulate the conversion at the supplier side. So they would receive the EDIFACT file and convert it to the database format so that they can store the purchase order in their database. So first of all, we need to have a map. That has the EDIFACT format as a source format, and on the destination side we will have the database format. Setup ED, it's EDIFACT, and then we have our profile here. And on the other side we have the database legacy. We create the demo ERP or supplier ERP database profile. We can save. That's the connection. I think I made a mistakes. Of course, the table is called purchase order, but it's not the schema name. So I will just remove the schema filter and browse for the table. So that is our table here, purchase order. Then I select the fields. I think it's the buyer ID, quantity, supplier ID, I think total amount. Let's just make a selection of information so that we can quickly do the mapping. So now we have the destination profile. And now we can start to map our fields. Here we have our buyer ID, supplier ID, Then purchase order number. I think here we have this total amount. I think the total amount is not correctly mapped. Let's have a look. Prompt amount. Oh, that is the currency ID. I need the payable amount. The payable amount. Yeah, it's in the MOA segment. More like this. Then we need the unit price. The unit price, I think the unit price. Where is the unit price? And that's the unit code. It's the quantity. Quantity is mapped like this. So we have the currency left and the unit price. Currency is this. And the unit price. Unit price. No. That's the unit price, and I need this element from the CUX. That's the currency. Okay, I think we're good now. We save it. Let's quickly run a mapping test. We'll just reconfigure the start step to no data. Let's click OK. Then I connect the sample message here. Then I think I will detach from the trading partner for testing, and then I test. And my expectation is that the output is some data format, database format in the second branch. Let's check it. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, that's it. Next steps. In the next episode, we have the following agenda: environment extensions, document property, process property, dynamic document property, dynamic process property. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.